All right, let's move on to the next topic. And the next email today comes to us from Raven. And Raven writes, "Hey John, love the show. Thank you so much. I have a question/theory about the possible title for the new Spider-Man movie. With the first movie being called Homecoming, a clever play on the fact that he was finally back in Marvel, do you think that this title means he may not be sticking around? As far as I know, it was a 5-movie deal, and that deal ends with this new film. Do you think they will renegotiate?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, Raven. And first of all, you are right. This Spider-Man Far From Home will be the final film for Spider-Man in the MCU under the current deal. All right, so that's that. Is the title Far From Home an indicator that this will be Spider-Man's final film in the MCU? No, I don't think so. I think Kevin Feige was pretty direct about that. Kevin Feige said it really has more to do with the fact that so much of this film travels at different places around the world. You know, some of it happens in New York, but a lot of it, Kevin Feige says, at different locations around the globe. So I think that's really the bigger press. Plus, they wanted the word home in there as well. However, that does bring up a very big, very interesting question. As of right now, as soon as Spider-Man Far From Home has done its theatrical run, the deal between Sony and Marvel is over, and Spider-Man goes right back to the Sony universe. And he's done under the current deal. Nothing is saying, though, that these two sides cannot work out a further deal. Personally, I think this has worked out very well, both for Sony and for the MCU. And I could see there'd be a lot of motivation for both sides to get a new deal done, or to get an extension, at least at any rate. Because Sony made a lot of money, man. They made a lot of money on Homecoming. And it was very good for Marvel and the MCU at the same time. So I could see that. However, this is where things get interesting. I think a lot will depend on what happens with this Venom movie. Because if this Venom movie is really good and people enjoy it and people like it and the critics respond to it and it makes decent money, it doesn't have to be a $1 billion film, but if it makes like 550 million, 600 million, whatever, that could embolden Sony to go, you know what? No, we're back on track. We're going to bring Spider-Man back into our own universe. We got Jared Leto as Morbius. We still got that silver and black thing going. Yeah, they might be thinking, if the Venom film comes out and nobody likes it, then that may remotivate Sony to make sure they get a deal done with Marvel. So I don't know. It seems like a lot is going to ride on how well Venom does. Or they could have a deal signed before then. I don't know. But what is true is this. The current deal does end at the end of Far From Home. No, the Far From Home title is not an indicator about whether Spider-Man will or will not remain in the MCU. It's also important to keep this in mind. A lot of people, when I talk to friends of mine saying, well, the deal is over after that. And people go, Marvel won't let him go back. It's not up to Marvel. People keep forgetting that. Marvel has no power here. It's all, the ball is completely in Sony's court. Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. If they want him out of the MCU back there, once the deal's done, they can do that. It doesn't matter what Kevin Feige wants. Doesn't matter what Bob Iger wants. Doesn't matter what anybody wants. All the power lies in Sony's hands. And if they think that this is a good business move to extend the deal with the MCU, which it very well could be because things have been going really well with them, then they'll extend it. If they think they could do better by bringing him back into their universe with a revitalized universe, if Tom Hardy and Venom can get things going, then you're going to see him back there. It really all depends. So we got a lot to see, but no, don't worry about it. The Far From Home title is no indicator that Spider-Man is leaving the MCU, okay? We still got a ways to go before we get there, so let's hold on a little bit. All right, let's move on to the final email.